Shout out to G-Man Boxing.
George Kambosos Jr. wins a 12-round split decision over Teofimo Lopez. This was a brilliant fight. Do you know something? I made that prediction video during the week, and I picked Teofimo Lopez to win by mid-round stoppage because I just saw Kambosos Jr. walking onto something. Some things I didn't take into consideration is how good Kambosos' chin is. It's very good. Even though he was down in the 10th round, he's definitely shown me that he's got a terrific chin. His counter-punching ability is very good, as he showed in this fight. And it seemed like to me he just wouldn't be the knight in there against Teofimo Lopez. I just got that impression just looking at everything, looking at this fight throughout. You just got the impression for Teofimo Lopez it wasn't going to be his night. And Chris Andre done an excellent preview video for this, where he touched on some of the traits that Kambosos had that many of us would kind of look over. Now, he gave Kambosos Jr. a real shot in this fight. And, you know, I'm not going to spoil, but go if you want to watch his prediction video on this or his preview. He, you know, touched on how Kambosos has a slightly underrated defense, that he's able to pick a lot of shots off with his arms, that he can counter punch quite well. And when you look at that, you do think, yeah, he can do that when you look at it in, you know, in the grand scheme of things, but you just think Teofimo Lopez would be a little bit too much. And just even in this fight, if you look at both guys from their body dimensions, Teofimo Lopez looked about 2 weight divisions bigger than Kambosos. I mean, the size shocked me a little bit. Now, I knew Teofimo would be the bigger man, excuse me, but the actual size difference when you saw them in the ring, one looked like a lightweight, one looked like a welterweight. That's the best way to describe it in there. And Teofimo Lopez, a lot was made about the inactivity. A lot was made about him struggling to make 135 pounds. So when he came out in the first round, all guns blazing, I kind of thought to myself, is this a tactic? Because you know, right, I need to get rid of him now so he's not there later because I mightn't have any gas in the tank later. Is that what's kind of going on there? So Teofimo Lopez came out in the first round and he was swinging for the fences. I mean, he literally threw everything at Kambosos in that first round. Landed a good couple of right hands on Kambosos. Took him well to his credit. Has a good chin. And Kambosos was able to land a right hand of his own towards the back end of the first round, which did catch Teofimo Lopez bang on the chin. He wasn't devastatingly hurt, but he did go down. Now, Lopez Sr., who I don't think his advice in the corner was spot on. You know, he made it out as though Teofimo Lopez was having nothing but success. You know, he was dropped in that first round and he said, oh, you're just off balance. He's already done. Go out and finish him off in the second round. I'm like, mate. You need to there needs to be more urgency with this fighter. Because even throughout that fight, you know, even rounds he was clearly losing. Oh, you're winning them rounds. Now, you might say he's doing that because he doesn't want Teofimo to fight reckless. Yeah, I get that, but you'll often have times like, what was it, Anthony Yard, where he was being convinced that, oh, you're winning all these rounds, and then when it came to the end, it was like, oh, you didn't win enough rounds. You know, so maybe if he'd given Teofimo Lopez a bit more urgency, he might have been able to stamp his authority on some of the mid rounds. Because really, the mid rounds and the last 2 rounds, especially for Kambosos, I'll get on that now in a sec, have to probably be 2 of the most impressive rounds I've seen from a fighter. And I'll tell you why now in a sec. But Teofimo Lopez came out in the second and third round. In my opinion, he won them rounds. It was kind of at that point where I suspect maybe the snap and the steam maybe would have went out of Lopez's shots a little bit. I think that first round maybe actually took a lot more out of Teofimo Lopez than many of us thought, because he really did go swinging and he ended up getting dropped. And that's when Kambosos Jr. kind of came into his own. You know, his jab was working very well. He was landing good left hooks. He wasn't going to the body as much as I would have liked to have seen, but saying that neither was Teofimo Lopez. But when Kambosos did go to the body, they were hard shots. They were hard right hands that he was setting up to the body. And again, he was having success with the right hand. He was waiting for Teofimo Lopez to bore in with some shots. Lopez fought very recklessly, like he did. Like there was times where he was just open for counters. You know, even though he was getting some of his shots off, and his timing didn't look very good in there. Teofimo Lopez didn't look good at all. His shots were kind of, you could see them coming. And Kambosos, I think, even when he did get hit by them, I'm sure he felt them. It wasn't. He knew what the shot was coming, so he was able to kind of brace for it. If you get me, you know, it would have been different if it was, you know, if he was expecting a left hook turn into a right hand, never seen it coming, bang, they'll hurt you. But even when he was hit, he seemed to be able to see the shots and be like, okay, I know it's going to happen. But it didn't really affect him too much in those mid rounds. And like that, he was able to pick up the mid rounds pretty much from round 4, pretty much right the way through to round 8. I gave them rounds to Kambosos Jr. And by Kambosos Jr. by a wide margin. I mean, the commentary team on the zone were saying, they were kind of saying, like, Teofimo Lopez hasn't got an answer for what's come back at him. And they kind of all said, Sergio Mora, Todd Grisham, they said it almost looks like a mixture of everything you don't want. It's like maybe not having the easiest weight cut, expecting this fight to be easier than it is, and not really kind of pacing yourself. And also kind of the shock that, I'm in here with someone who's live. And for Teofimo Lopez, he's a guy who, even when he doesn't get guys out of there like Vasyl Lomachenko, his power is able to stop them in their tracks. So with Vasyl Lomachenko, his punching power was able to stop Vasyl Lomachenko in his tracks, and he was able to pick up rounds. With Kambosos, it didn't. Kambosos still came about swinging. Now, you're Teofimo Lopez, you're used to guys either getting hit and staying hit and going down, or really being put in their place. So how would you feel when you've got a guy who just won't stop coming at you, and you're like, I'm hitting him, and he just keeps coming at me, and you're not used to that happening before? It's got to be kind of mentally, it's got to be a bit of a head scratch for him, because it's like, what am I doing differently? What's up with this guy that he can keep coming at me? And Teofimo Lopez in the 8th round did start to have more success. He did start to find his home with the right hand a little bit more, and it kind of all culminated in the 10th round. The 10th round for Teofimo Lopez, landed a right hand, and he did actually wobble Kambosos a little bit in the 9th round, but in the 10th round he was able to land the right hand, knock Kambosos Jr. down, and this was with about 1 minute and 40 seconds to go in the round. And I was looking, thinking, if Kambosos gets through this, he'll win the next few rounds. That's why I thought. I said he'll, because I think Teofimo Lopez is going to sell out, and he's going to give it everything to try and get him out. And if he doesn't get him out now, that's maybe his last stand in terms of being able to step on the gas. And lo and behold, there was times I thought the referee might have jumped in, and the commentary team said that they felt that it was only a couple more punches it would have been, and he would have got Kambosos Jr. out of there. But they actually felt as well that potentially Teofimo didn't have it in him, didn't have it in the tank. I mean, not that he didn't have the finishing instinct, he definitely does, but in the tank in terms of stamina. He was able to get through the 10th round, came out in the 11th and 12th. Now, I thought he would have more success because I thought Lopez would be tired, but Kambosos really stamped his authority on them rounds, and he won them rounds clearly. There was no other winner, and to the point where he actually cut Teofimo Lopez quite bad as well. It was like Teofimo Lopez's face after this fight, I've never seen it looking so bad. He had gashes, he had a big cut, he was bleeding. Yeah, he was in a fight against Kambosos Jr. in there. He was in a fight. So end of the fight comes, and I felt that Kambosos had done enough to win. I wasn't actually worried about the scorecards, because I felt that the right guy should win, who was Kambosos. But I remember thinking to myself, this is the zone. Well, I don't know about Kambosos, but Teofimo Lopez isn't a DAZN fighter. So why would there be any shenanigans with the scorecards? If this was on Top Rank, ESPN, I'd be a bit more worried. I'd be thinking, I hope they don't rob this kid. Now, saying that, it was a close fight, but Teofimo Lopez didn't win in my opinion. But I would have been like, I hope they don't rob this kid. On DAZN, I was like, it'll be probably impartial, it'll probably be fair, because Teofimo Lopez won't be staying with DAZN. He's a top rank fighter, as far as I'm aware anyway. So when the scorecards were read out, 115, 111 Teofimo, or 115, 111 Kambosos, 114, 113 Teofimo Lopez. That's it. I suppose you could maybe, I don't know, I couldn't see Teofimo Lopez winning this fight, to be honest with you. But I'm not. Some people could say scoring is objective, but I couldn't see him winning the fight. And then the final scorecard, 115, 112 Kambosos Jr. Got it wrong. Prediction completely gone wrong. Didn't see this coming. Kambosos is definitely better than I gave him credit for, and I take my hat off to him. Fantastic performance. I really, it was a joy to watch. It really was. Definitely massive credit to Kambosos Jr. for that. Teofimo Lopez, move up in weight. God almighty, I mean, him and Josh Taylor have been calling each other out. I think if Josh Taylor had been in there, and even if it had been 144 pounds or 140 pounds, he would have knocked Teofimo Lopez out in there. Teofimo Lopez, I have something in my head, I'm probably better not say it, but I think maybe in some ways there was karma here. Karma was at play, you know, because Teofimo Lopez, he's following a trend. Have you noticed that? Like, a lot of fighters who've been, you know, promoting the postman's knock have been losing lately, and Teofimo Lopez did that not long ago. And I wonder if this, because that's a trend that's going. It was AJ, Terry Harper, Teofimo Lopez. There was someone else as well. I wonder if there's some karma on play here. I don't know. That could be just me thinking, you know, away with the fairies. But I've noticed that trend going on lately. I think there was another fighter as well who lost. Forget who. But that's my thoughts on this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you could, smash the like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the notification bell. Helps your boy out. For now, lads and lassies, I'll talk to you.